What's up, creators and light shapers? The following is from our interview from Ryan McIntyre, DP, high-speed filmmaker, and owner of Cinespeed Productions. Ryan talks about the growing demand of ultra-high-speed content acquisition from high-end commercial customers, beyond military ballistics and scientific applications, to major international brands from ad campaigns to TV documentaries. With the latest high-speed cameras capable of frame rates for commercial or cinematic use well over 500,000 frames per second, Nanlux has proven to be uniquely qualified in the industry to meet the lighting demands for these types of productions, better than any other brand. So, let's get into the interview.
Thanks for having me. I'm really looking forward to talking about my work and how Nanlux lights have changed my whole industry. We've shot a lot of things with big brands like Home Depot, for example, where they wanted to showcase their power tools, just like saws cutting through wood and a stump grinder just demolishing stuff. And we've shot up to 80,000 frames a second just to show every little piece of wood coming off the chainsaw, or off a table saw, or we did a really cool shot of a concrete saw and how water was spraying everywhere. And as we were getting macro shots, we needed that frame rate, and it just made beautiful shots that not many people have seen before, because to get at that frame rate with that quality was pretty recent. The camera came out in the TMX, I think, was 2019, so it's pretty recent to get that frame rate. And it's, you can kind of see it at 1,000. It just kind of looks like things going everywhere, but actually be able to see every single blade going down and cutting through is it's pretty cool to see. I've used quite a bit of other lights. Like, we've shot some HMI stuff and used the aperture lights, and have a lot of issues with HMIs. The shoots we've gone into where we need to shoot a couple thousand frames a second, or even 1,000 frames a second, we've always had to bring extra ballast because some of them flicker, some of them don't. It's just kind of a guessing game, and it's kind of nerve-wracking, going on set and hoping that you have the right ballast, or you have tested enough that it's gonna last the whole day. And when we use the apertures, we could just get at 1,000 frames a second. Anything above that was definitely not usable. And that even, sometimes I know people are like, you have to dim it. It's nice to be able to control the image and dim lights down. And with the aperture lights, we couldn't do that. And I know there are some updates that might be able to fix that, but it was just a hassle that we had to be at 100%. And then you had to diffuse down from there. Where with the Evoke 1200, we could dim down to 1% and know it's not going to be flicker free, and it was dang solid. And even the 1200B, knowing that we could dim down with different color and still get up to 25,000 frames a second easily, that it would look great, wouldn't flicker, and we'd have so much more control and know that it was going to be the image that we needed to capture. No matter what you throw at them, knowing that I've tested them up to 875,000 with no flicker on the 1200, it's just relaxing. Hey, whatever we need to shoot, we can shoot, and we have the output, and we know hey, this is darn durable. Yeah, the light has been dropped, and it's taken a beating on some of this stuff, and it's been pretty awesome. Yeah, so another kind of use case we've done is some documentary stuff, not just for analyzing things, but we've done some shoots with a Canon. We did a documentary for NHK out of Japan, and they were doing a Civil War documentary for their time period of when Japan went through their Civil War, and they wanted to compare two different type of cannons. One's a Napoleon and one is a Parrott. And in Lancaster, PA, they have those cannons that they wanted to compare, and so we were shooting at those at 80,000 to 150,000 frames a second to show exactly the type of flight and just beautiful images of how the cannons worked and how more powerful the Parrott was than the Napoleon. Yeah, so that was really cool to be a part of, shoot that documentary and get some really pretty images for that. And we used two Evokes and the 1200C actually, because we had to do a quick interview. So it was nice just to blast the 1200C just to give some fill light quickly, and also just to light the Canon, because the sun was coming in and out. So it was nice just to kind of not have to rely on it as much. The sunlight, but also know, hey, we're gonna get pretty good images. We had one Evoke set up to light the Canon and one to light the cannonball as it was coming out. And we used like mirrors and stuff to have the cannonball come directly towards camera and break the glass. But it was cool to see how the one is a rifled cannon, one's not. So you can see how the rifling moved the cannon and how much faster it sustained after even going through objects. But yeah, we were shooting it like the main frame rate we were shooting is like 80,000 frames a second like that, and you couldn't have gone any slower. Like that was full resolution on the TMX 7510, and everyone was really happy. We actually got to upscale that image to almost 4K. It was a 720p image, and we used Topaz AI and DaVinci Resolve, and it looks phenomenal. It was awesome. We used the 26-degree modifier for the Evokes to get the cannonball lit up. But the 1200C, just to fill in an interview, we were, standing right off to the side just to give a little bit of fill in, especially when the sun went out. It was just kind of nice to have a little bit of control there. So the sun's nice to have because you can do a lot of control with, especially with mirrors and stuff, but you need way more light than the sun can provide usually at these frame rates, because, we've shot stuff in 95 nanoseconds for the exposure time, like flash bulbs, which we did at Cinegear, and how the sun does nothing at that exposure. It's pitch black. Recently, after DPing a commercial, we were talking to some directors and how they're always very apprehensive of shooting phantom stuff from previous horror stories of using HMIs, or just how much lights you need for simple shots, and how it's encouraging now to say like, hey, we can shoot this now. We can shoot phantom stuff. You can kind of breathe fresh air knowing that, hey, like there's lights out there now like the Evoke and the products that Nanlux has that are flicker free, that they're not crazy expensive, that they're reliable, and that they're durable, and we can shoot phantom stuff with a lot less work, and at a much smaller crew, and a lot less costly, which is why a lot of people don't shoot phantom stuff. And so it's definitely helping me out, not just because now I can shoot it, but it's helping directors and crews realize like, hey, we can actually shoot phantom stuff now. So that's pretty cool.